What's up, everybody? Ryan with CPP Tech. Did I find a gem, jewel, and goodness for you guys? So what I did was I actually started to do a big search. I already knew that Linus' very first video, Linus Tech Tips, his very first video is not published, but I have gone back and found the very first video that you can watch that's on his channel. And we're going to watch this. It was from, I believe, 11 years ago and 10 years ago, somewhere around there. And I have not watched it. I'm going to do a reaction video on it. And I'm going to tell you right now that I am not going to remember the hardware in which he does. It's a MSI motherboard or something. But let's go ahead and take a gander at this and start watching. Let's see what it is. I'm probably going to pause it periodically just to say, oh my lordy. But let's get into it. All right. Wow, look at that animation. Is that supposed to be Linus? Linus Tech Tips, NCIX. So this is whenever he was still with NCIX before it shut down. Let's go ahead and take a gander here.
So today we'll be doing a quick
Holy
unboxing
cow.
of the MSI Z60.
Look how young he is. What I've noticed on this already is Vancouver Canucks. All right, Pavel Bure. He's probably played with for him back then.
GD80 B3 motherboard. So the Z68A GD80 B3 motherboard features their military class 2 concept, which means they have the super ferrite chokes, the high C caps with the tantalum core, which is very rare evidently. You have solid caps with up to a 10-year lifetime of solid use, as well as their OC Genie technology, USB 3, SATA 6, SLI, Crossfire X, and full support for Intel's full lineup of Intel Core i3, i5, i7 processors on LGA 1155.
Processors. I love Canadian.
Features a 3-year warranty in Canada and the US, and in other regions I have.
Oh, check it out. THX. Back then, THX certified was a big deal.
No idea. So here there's just a little bit more explanation of what military class 2 means, as well as a list of their features, including their Winky 3, which is like a quick OS you can log into in the BIOS if you want to browse the internet or go on Skype or not load Windows for whatever reason. Supercharger, so you can charge your iPad, iPhone, and mobile at high speed even when your PC is shut down. That's a cool feature. As well as their instant overclocking, which is obviously tied into OC Genie, which is their one-button overclocking. Press the button, you're overclocked. Remember, OC Genie only works with K-series processors though. Okay, 3 PCI Express 16X slots for up to 3-way Crossfire or 2-way SLI.
Now, Crossfire and SLI are pretty much well gone dead. I think that's kind of funny how a lot of the motherboards were supporting that back then.
And finally, overclocking 1 second OC Genie 2, yes. So auto detect and overclock CPU memory. Oh, and the integrated GPU. Now remember, with the Z68.
So now what's funny about this is he's pretty much reading verbatim on the box. So he's a smart guy. He knows a whole lot more than I do. But I think back here when he's starting out, so we all start out somewhere, right? I'm starting out. There's a lot of stuff I don't know. But I think I did the same thing whenever I first did my MSI 2080 Ti for the very first video I did. So
chipset. The integrated GPU clock speed is actually going to matter even if you're using a dedicated graphics card. And the reason for that is that the Z68 chipset allows you to use the integrated GPU to accelerate video encoding. So that's pretty cool. So that will affect that performance. Okay, here we have extreme power design. So 12 phases. We have Dr. Moss, as well as an extra 6-pin VGA power connector for providing more power to the PCIe slots. We have 2 BIOS chips, just in case one of them has some kind of a problem, maybe during flashing or whatever the case may be. You will have no problem restoring from the second BIOS chip. Let me just pull the board out. See, we've got some nice environmentally friendly packaging going on here. Just gonna move that there camera.
This has to be from back in his NCIX days where they had a small little studio set up.
Okay, if there's anything I'm missing here. So there's another note about supercharger. Oh, okay, so the supercharger USB ports are marked. You know what, I'll show you the accessories first and then we'll go through the other features. So here's a little map of the board as well as some key points about the board that you could find on the box if you so desired. Drivers and utilities DVD, throw it away, download the latest off the MSI website. You've got M connectors, which are an easier way to plug in your front USB. And front panel connectors, quick installation guide. 1, 2, 3, 4 SATA 3 6 gigabit per second cables, which are not different except that they are white. And then you have 2 Molex to SATA power cables. I/O shield, VCheck cables. So this board features VCheck, which means that you can use a digital multimeter to manually check the voltages going to some of the key components. We have an SLI bridge. Remember, your Crossfire bridge should be included with your graphics card.
Wow, it comes with an SLI bridge on there. That's actually quite impressive. That's great.
USB 3 rear panel header with an internal pinout. Okay, just in case your case doesn't have front USB 3 and you still want to use the extra ports. So you've got a user guide as well as a software user guide. All right, the board itself. There we are. So military class 2 sticker comes off, and oh, this is interesting. Looks like they've changed the
oh wow.
They've changed the socket cover from what they were using before, which was a piece that goes under.
Did you see that?
So I don't even know how this one works. Look at that. There, okay, that's how it works. Take off our OC Genie 2 thing, and let's have a look at the board. So why don't we start in the CPU socket area. So here's where your LGA 1155 CPU goes. That will give you full support, as I said before, for Core i3, Core i5, and Core i7 processors. Here's your 12-phase power design, as well as your tantalum core little guys here. So that's part of the military class 2 concept, which is prominently featured on the branding on the board. We've got our 8-pin CPU connector up here in its ideal location in the top left corner, big fan of that personally, as well as 4 DDR3 slots for dual channel memory. We've got our 24-pin connector in its ideal location along the right-hand edge, as well as V checkpoints here. So we have checkpoints for the VCCP, CPU VTT, CPU GFX, so that's the onboard VGA, VCC DDR, as well as PCH. What is that? PCH1P05. Interesting. As well as 2 ground points. All right, moving down, we have 2 SATA 3 6 gigabit. Oh, rather, hold on just a minute. SATA 5, 6, SATA 3, 4. Yeah, 2 SATA 3, 6 gigabit per second, 4 SATA 2, 3 gigabit per second. Then we have an additional SATA 3, 6 gigabit per second running off of a third-party controller. All right, here are our front USB ports. This is the one with supercharge, the one with the red background behind it. I don't know if you can see that red background. Can you? Okay, and then we've also got our USB 3 front panel header, OC Genie button, power, reset, another, oh no, this is Firewire front panel header, our front audio, as well as our PCIe slot. So, PCIe slot layout, we've got 1, 2, 3 PCIe 16X slots. We have 2 PCIe 1X slots and 2 PCI slots. So if you are installing 3 dual slot cards, you will have left, now you got to make sure you have a case that has an additional PCI slot because it's going to hang over the edge, but you will be left with 1 PCIe 1X slot and 1 PCI slot. So that's very rich expansion capabilities if you're running a 3-way graphics card.
Rich expansion, that's awesome. Rich expansion, that's just funny. That's probably stupid, but that's funny.
Configuration. If you're running a 2-way graphics card configuration, you're going to be left with 1 PCIe 1, 1 PCI, and 1 PCIe 16. Here's that PCI Express 6-pin power connector right here. So if you are running a few graphics cards, you're probably going to want to plug that in to make sure.
Wow, so that board has, so this, and I gotta go back and do my research on this, but this board has actual power for the PCIe slots, I guess because some of the cards didn't have power to them I'll have to do some research on that because I don't know everything. It's been, you know, forever ago, 11 years ago. Some of this stuff I don't remember. So
that you're providing all of the juice you need to your graphics cards. Here on the back, the I/O shield, we have one of those PS2 keyboard mouse combo.
That board had to have been at least $300, $400 back in the day. Look, it had USB-C 3, or not USB-C, USB 3. It had FireWire. It has an HDMI and a DVI on board. It's got 2 Ethernet. I'm curious to see if it's a 10100 and a 101,000 or what have you. It does have a FireWire port on the back there. I can already see. He's gonna go over that. Let's take a gander.
We have optical audio out, a reset CMOS switch. I love the reset CMOS switch on the back I/O. I'm a big fan of that. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? 4 USB 2.0 ports? That's it? Okay. 4 USB 2.0 ports. We have eSATA, FireWire, dual gigabit Ethernet, 2 USB 3.0 ports, so that is still a total of 6 USB ports. We have
So it is 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, even 11 years ago, 10 years ago.
DVI out as well as HDMI out, and 7.1 audio out. So thank you for checking out my unboxing of the Z68A GD80B3, and let me just see if there's anything that I missed here. I don't think there is. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos.
That is so funny. Oh my Lord. So he just went through the whole thing, just gave you the information, read it off the box, went through all the stuff. It looked like he was like rushing it, you know, not pulling it, not Germaning it, rushing it. So I don't know, that's quite funny, but when we start out on YouTube, it's like we have no clue. We're just gonna make a video, and this is what people want to see. This is what people don't want to see. I don't know. Speaking of which, if you want me to do some more reviews, like find some Paul's or Jay's or what have you, let me know in the description below, and I'll do more of these. But I think it was just funny just to go back to, you know, we all know who Linus from Linus Tech Tips is if you're part of the tech world or whatnot. But I don't know. This is the first of me doing a reaction video, so I probably stink at it, but I may get better as time goes on if we keep doing more and more of these. So anyway, like, subscribe. I appreciate it. See you guys in the next one, and we'll keep on watching Linus Tech Tips. That's great. So yeah, awesome. Take care, guys. Bye.